What is happening, everybody? Thank you guys for tuning in to the NBA report on the NBK network. That's right. Still Knicks fans in the building. I'm here holding it down for Madoloski, but we are here nevertheless. Shout out to my guy, John, and my guy, Jose. They are both covering an event today at work. So they're working late. So I am holding it down. And if you guys didn't already know that John and Jose in their real life, not their Clark Kent role. I mean, sorry, not their Superman roles, their Clark Kent role. In their real life jobs, they actually work in the same building, work together and stuff like that. So yeah, so I am holding it down. Hopefully you guys are doing good. Hopefully you're having a good Thursday night. The NBA is back, folks. We are back. We've got some games going on tonight. Let me see what's going on in the schedule. It's a pretty good slate tonight, actually. Let me see here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 games going on tonight. Yeah, so definitely a nice little schedule going on. So currently we've got the Denver Nuggets playing the Cleveland Cavaliers. Cleveland's up 88-84 in the third quarter. Well, almost at the end of the third quarter, 13 seconds left. Boston is playing Indiana. They're up 100-97 with, oh, no, it finished there. And end of the third, they're going into the fourth as well. Detroit is playing the Orlando Magic. Orlando's up 80-79. It's about 25 seconds left in the third quarter. Man, these games are like starting right on time, huh? Then you've got the Memphis Grizzlies versus the Philadelphia 76ers at halftime. Memphis is up 59-47. And you've got the New Orleans Pelicans taking on the Toronto Raptors. It's 10 minutes left in the third quarter. Toronto's up 56-47. Then we still have San Antonio versus Dallas. That's 8:30 start, hasn't kicked off yet. Then you got Oklahoma City versus Utah. That's a 9 p.m. start, hasn't kicked off yet. And we got two more. Golden State Warriors versus the Los Angeles Lakers at 10 p.m. and the Portland Trail Blazers versus the Sacramento Kings at 10 p.m. Yeah, so definitely a full slate of games going on tonight. It's good to have the NBA back. All-Star weekend was what it was, but I'm glad it's over and they can get back to playing some meaningful basketball. I mean, for those who think that the All-Star game is exciting and stuff like that, I understand. I'm not that big on it personally. Shout out to the chat. Appreciate you guys. Thank you for being here. I know I wasn't able to really put out the link. I mean, not the link, the thumbnail for the show that early today. So I'm sure some of you guys weren't even sure that the show was going to be on tonight, but we are here. Shout out to Kerry Cox. Shout out to Lorenzo Gibbs. Good to see you. Dwayne Dennis in the building. Appreciate you. And obviously those who are watching that are not in the chat, appreciate you guys as well. So yeah, what can we say? All-Star weekend was You know, hmm, that's what it was. I thought it was interesting to see how everything played out. I want to know what you guys think personally, how you felt about All Star Weekend. I think that the Rising Stars game was interesting, probably the highlight of the whole weekend. The dunk competition was pretty much a two-man race. Um, right. And then, Mac McClung did a very good job. And he's well deserving of winning the slam dunk competition. Dame Dollar won the 3-point competition. He did his thing. Julius Randle struggled. Kevin Huerter struggled. The All Star game was what I thought it was or would be. That's why I didn't watch it. And I'm sorry for you guys who actually did take the time to watch it because I heard it was pretty bad. I saw some highlights and it looked pretty bad. So I'm glad I didn't waste my time watching it. It just is what it is. The game has just been going downhill every single season. This was the lowest rated one in NBA All-Star game history. They need to change some stuff, man. They need to do something different. They really need to figure out a way to make this more exciting. Sometimes you have to bring in somebody from the outside who's not a part of the machine. You know what I mean? Get some creative consultations happening with regular folk. Like Ron. Because I would have said, let's jazz up the dunk competition. Let's make them 2v2s. Maybe um 5 teams, maybe. You know, w- one NBA dunker, uh, who plays in the NBA, and one street ball dunker, and pair them up. Right? 3-point competition. I don't really think there's anything you can do about that. I think it is what it is, and I think every year you can expect what you can expect. I think the 3-point competition is fine. Um, the Rising Stars stuff, that's great. I mean, some people I may not like it as much as other things, but I thought it was good, and I think that there's some competitiveness in those games. Um, the skill competition, I don't know if anybody cares about that anymore, but and then the All Star game. I know been a lot of people saying that maybe they should, reward players by giving them some type of, money for their effort. Um, that might be the answer. I mean, this is a money league, right? The league makes a lot of money. The owners make a lot of money. Maybe some incentive for the players to get some extra cash, you know, by playing hard. Uh, you know, makes sense. And then maybe they can do like yeah, but I don't know. That might get a little too crazy. It just has to be that they treat it like a regular game. That's all. Just, give people extra money. Give everybody extra money who makes it to the All-Star game. Um, but I don't know how you have to make it so that they know that they have to go out there and play hard. Like not just okay, you make the All-Star game, here's your money. No. Um, they have to make it competitive and play it like a regular game. And I don't think there should be any extra incentive because then I worry about people getting too crazy with it. Like, say you gave the MVP, $500,000 or something, or a quarter of a million. Guys might get a little, out of character in the way they play. So I don't know, but they need to figure something out. Shout out to Sherwin. Good to see you, brother. Always a pleasure. He said, "I'm sorry. All Star Weekend is humbug to me." I hear you. I hear you. I really don't enjoy it personally. I don't even like watching the slam dunk competition. Although I if I had watched this one live, I wouldn't have been too upset about it because I think Mac McClung did a really good job. Um Trey the third did good as well. I mean, Mac McClung was better. And it is what it is. Snipes Entertainment is in the building. Salute, appreciate you. He said the All Star game is what the Harlem Globetrotters used to be. Nobody plays hard on defense anymore. Yeah, you might be right. You might be right. Um, Angel Rodriguez says bring back East versus West. Hmm, maybe. And salute to you, Angel. Good to see you. Um, yeah, Snipes said Kobe was the last of the defensive greats. Yeah, it's true. Um, Dwayne Dennis says All Star Weekend has turned to be nothing more than a fashionable weekend party. The players rather be in the stands, being cool, trying to be noticed, hanging out with the celebrities. You may be right about that, brother. It this is like everything has turned out to be about class and status, and I don't know. Everything's about partying, and people don't really like put a lot of in. I'm not going to say that. I don't want to say that they don't put a lot into their craft. They just don't seem like they take it as seriously as the players that played back in the early 2000s and the 90s and the 80s and the 70s. Like I don't know. I don't know what it is. I really don't. I don't have any idea. 184 points for the winning team is insane when 95 was the top in 90s basketball. No defense being played. It's ridiculous. Ridiculous. What up, Anthony D? Salute, my brother. Good to see you as always. Jay Boogie's in the building. What's going on, Jay Boog? Salute to you, my brother. He said, shout out to the chat. Blessings, health, and happiness. Love to you all. It was the night before the Knicks, and all through the house, I found me a podcast that that read "We Still Knick Fans." Thank you, Jay Boogie. It was good, man. Um, Snipes Entertainment says he does not like the new this new 3-point barrage in today's game. Yeah, man. I think it's kind of sapped some of the purity out of the game. It just uh, like I miss just watching good basketball and watching guys do screens and cuts and curls and just finding ways to get open and make difficult shots look easy. You know what I mean? Not just jacking up threes all the time, but hey, who am I? Francisco Carrillo is in the building. He said, Yo, ¿cómo estás? What's going on, brother? Hope you're doing all right. Shout out to you and yours. Um, Dwayne Dennis said the game was a 4-quarter layup line. That's a fact. Edwin Ing is in the building. So salute to you, my brother. He said Steph Curry messed the game up shooting the three. Yeah, I mean, it definitely changed the game, and now there's no going back. I mean, I don't want to say that because there actually could be some going back because who knows? A few years from now, when Steph Curry and the Clay Thompsons and a couple others may be out of the league, 3-point shooting may change because those guys used to knock it down at a high, very efficient clip. Not everybody can do that. Not everybody can do that. And so when it starts to become one of those situations where you're hurting the team rather than helping the team because there's a lot of 3-point shots being jacked up and the accuracy is not as good, that's when the NBA will start to make a change. If they do, we'll see. Um, Jay Boogie said, "I want to see the players go back to wearing their own jerseys at the All Star game." Yeah, I think that's a cool look. They need to do that every so often. And you're right; it's kind of long overdue, Jay Boogie. I think it's time. Next year, they might want to think about doing that. And I think that's a realistic thing that the NBA will do. I think they will do something like that because they tend to do that stuff once in a blue. What's going on, Keith Turner? Appreciate you, man. Hope you're doing all right. Ace C. Canty is in the building. He says It has to start from the captains. Have respect for the game. Hate when they say it's for the fans. Yeah, it's definitely not because the fans don't want to see a game where no defense is played. And like I saw some of the pictures or the highlight videos, and there was like a one-on-one happening on the right side, and all the players was chilling on the left, like working on their, who's gonna who's gonna be barbecuing at whose house. I don't know what they was talking about. That was crazy. It was wild. Snipes says the three started with European players like Dirk and Tony Kukoc. Yeah, but there was still like they still played within the spectrum of the game. Like and there was a part of that current landscape at the time. Like when Steph Curry came into the league, he just changed everything. Like because he was so good at it, and people was just like, man. I know people were shocked to see how many 3-point shots he was attempting and some of the ways he was shooting them, and and that just changed everything. Sherwood, man, is it that bad? I don't know that we gotta use anything we can, huh? No, there's no way that Brandon Miller with that gun incident will fall to the Knicks. Um, and I hope that the young man is able to come out of this unscathed. It looks like, from what I've heard, that there's evidence or proof to the fact that he doesn't have anything to do with this situation. There's more to the story, um, but it's a really bad look. And these young athletes, which is not easy, man, but you really got to check your associations and who you interact with. And I know these guys were players too, but if these are the type of players that need to pull out guns, that's not the type of players you want to be around. Yeah. So hopefully that situation gets resolved in the best possible manner. But in the end, a young woman still lost her life to the hands of gun violence. Once again, another tragedy. So prayers to her and her family. And hopefully, like I said, this Brandon Miller situation can be dealt with. If he's guilty of something, then whatever. He's guilty and he's gotta be deal with the consequences. But if he didn't do anything, then hopefully he can have a very nice basketball career. As you can see, with all this controversy, he dropped 42 points last night. I think it was last night. He dropped 42 points. So he's definitely trying to get people's minds off the incident. Shout out to Lion of Judah. Shalom, my brother. Good to see you. Blessings as well to you. Jarvis LaFleur is in the building. Salute. What's going on, brother? Hope you're doing all right. Next time you eat a beignet, I want you to think of me, man, because them beignets, I heard they're the real deal out there. I've had them, but I haven't had one from New Orleans. That's a different thing. Building Blocks is in the building. Salute. What's good? Appreciate you. Yeah, I don't think Brandon Miller's falling. Yeah, if anything, his stock is rising outside of all this other stuff that's happening. Kenny Payne says they need role models. Yeah, and shout out to you, brother. They do, man. They do. This young generation is all over the place, man. And then you give them social media and they're seeing all this stuff. They're exposed to everything. They're desensitized. And you also uh this young generation is one that has been giving opportunities and ways to make money like never before, you know, whether it be through social media stuff or YouTube, all these different avenues where young people can make money. They just it's a different time, man. They carry themselves very differently. I know they are, Jarvis. Man, I'm envious of you, bro. Them damn beignets, man. Infamous new king in the building. Salute. What's going on, brother? Callie M. What's going on, brother? Wait, oh, I just clicked on. Hey, there we go. He said, even if he's innocent, I would not draft him. New York media would eat him up. And can he survive in New York? Good question. Good question. That's the thing. Like, you know, these young players, man, they have a lot of talent. We don't know which one's going to hit. It's still very up in the air. Like, for example, Jalen Green, who I think is one of the most talented young players in the NBA. I don't know if he's going to become the dude, though. You know what I mean? Like, Ja Morant is the dude. Zion Williamson. Zion Williams. Wait, isn't it? It is Williamson. I'm bugging out, man. Um, he's the dude when he's out there healthy. You know, Jalen Green hasn't showed me that he's the dude yet. He had moments last year where I thought, man, he's gonna be the dude, but this year not so much. So you never know with these young guys, no matter how much talent they got. We'll see. We'll see. Um, Thank you guys for tuning in. Shout out to the whole entire chat, man. Appreciate you guys. And thank you to the people that are out there watching. Thank you for tuning in. Please smash that like button to show your love. Unfortunately, we didn't do a show last week. But I want to, show some love to not only still Nick fans, but really to NBK and Mr. Simeon Russell and his platform. And always a pleasure, and thank him for having us. Show some love for his show, get them likes up, so YouTube knows this is a place for NBA content that you can rely on, as well as Nick content. With that's without question. Vinny Vegas in the building. Yeah, I mean, listen, Brandon Miller is pretty. He's talented. He's pretty talented. Oh man, too soon. Building blocks too soon. Um, yeah. What else here? I mean, I think that's it. I'm hoping for something positive though, Snipes. I think that we'll be able to get a good player with the 20th pick. I feel good about it. If that's the pick we get. I think we might be able to get a good player. So I'm not too worried about that. Um I just don't know if it would matter. Because this Nick team is ready to go for it. You know what I mean? We're in that in between phase right now. We trying to get to the next level. So oh no. I don't know. You better. We hope it's going to be whoever they can get with that draft pick is a bucket, because he's going to need to be to crack this rotation. Vinny Vegas says, "How much you paying Daniel Jones, bro? Look, man, I'm giving Daniel Jones 35 mil, somewhere in between 35 and 38. Um, I don't think he deserves more than that, even though Matthew Stafford is making 40 million and he won a Super Bowl, but Matthew Stafford is not that much better than Daniel Jones. They might be equal in talent and what they can provide for their teams right now. At least with Daniel Jones's legs, he can make up for other stuff that's not happening. And I still don't know if we've seen the best of Daniel Jones, because if you give Daniel Jones some receivers with this new coaching staff and the confidence that he's getting, he might be able to do some things, but he should not be getting paid, uh, you know, 40 million or more. No, I don't think so. I think 35 would be nice. I think Eli and Peyton needs to call him and let him know, listen, when we were the stars of our teams, we took pay cuts to help our teams. So, I mean, Eli is known for he was one of the quarterbacks that took the most pay cuts in the NFL. So, yeah, Eli, give Daniel a call, man. Anyway, shout out to Organic Nick Fanatics in the building. Salute to you guys. Great shows. I haven't been able to watch everything, but I've been seeing some of the stuff you've been doing. You guys are doing great stuff over there. I really like what you guys got going on, and I'm excited to see you guys continue to grow. Um, Yeah, I mean, Nick content creators, man. So many good ones. Nick's 100 in the building. Good to see you, brother. Appreciate you as always. Kevin Taylor's here. He said Washington picks, they don't make the playoffs, they keep it. Hmm, interesting. Ricardo's in the building. He says, and salute to you, Ricardo. He says, Ron, the finishing move is Brandon Ingram or Anthony Edwards. They both fit like a glove. Well, I tell you one thing. Brandon Ingram is a chance the Knicks could get him, because he's been hurt a lot. And I think New Orleans wouldn't be, if you make them an offer, they might be willing to part with him. Anthony Edwards, he's not going anywhere, man. That Minnesota team is going to become Anthony Edwards' team. Whether it's with Carl Anthony Towns or without him, that team is going to turn into Anthony Edwards' team. You watch. He's already learning how to put his stamp on it. He just needs to grow a little bit more confidence, and learn a little bit more about the game. Get his comfortable spot so he can be a walk-in bucket. Because he's really good, but he's not a walk-in bucket yet. He has his moments where he's a little, you know, but he'll be there. He's got the talent. Whew. Um, Francisco Carrillo says, "Where do we land if we win the championship?" I believe it's the last pick, if I'm not mistaken, or something like that. Yeah, I think the championship gets the 32nd pick or whatever. I think it's 32. Yeah, I think you get the last pick, but I don't think that's something that we have to worry about. Not quite yet. Organic Nick says, Chris Murray should be the pick we go for. Hmm, interesting. That may be the case, man. That may be the case. I'm gonna look into it. We haven't done our draft stuff yet because it's still been pretty early, but we're gonna do, our draft special stuff when we get into the off season. And prior to that, probably gonna have somebody from one of our favorite draft sites to come on and kind of talk to us about the early predictions for players and who might be slotted for the Knicks. So we just have, put some things in context and have an idea. We'll get somebody on one of the shows to talk about things. Um, yeah, so we'll see. Parrish Doug is in the building. Salute. What's going on, Parrish? He said Daniel Jones would be crazy to take a pay cut in New York. Giants should have believed. Listen, the good ones have all done it. Brady took a pay cut for years. Eli took a pay cut for years. Peyton took a pay cut for years. Um, I don't know if Aaron Rodgers did. I kind of feel like he did though. I feel like or maybe that was Brett Favre. I don't know. I feel like one of them did in order to give some more money to Randall Cobb one year. I can't remember. Shout out to Antoine Jenkins. Appreciate you. Good to see you. He said, Knicks don't need no more hurt players, bro. You want players that can play 70 games at least a season. I agree. And I'm worried about Brandon Ingram when it comes to that. So I hear you. I hear you. It's just he's talent. And if you can get him for a cheaper cost than giving up the farm for some other player, I'd do it. How do you guys feel about if the Knicks went heavy for Shea Gilgris Alexander, who says he's better now than LeBron was at his age? Huh, that's a lot to say. That's some interesting words there. I don't know. He might be a better offensive scorer than LeBron was at that point. But is he a better passer than LeBron? No. Is he a better rebounder than LeBron? No, I don't think so. Is he better defensively than LeBron was at that young age when LeBron was running down and chasing down people and blocking shots from behind and stealing the ball and putting people in the nope. Sorry, Shay. I'm not going to rock with you on that. I like you. I think you're a really good player, and I would love to have you on the Knicks. But I'm not going to say that you were better than LeBron at his age when he was your age. Should I say? I hear you. I hear you, bro. I don't know what he's thinking. But look, listen, sometimes these guys need something to drive themselves. And not for nothing, maybe there's a little bit of a friendly competition, a feud going on between SGA and LeBron. He doesn't like how LeBron chased down his shot and did what he did and blocked him or whatever. And maybe he's trying to stake his claim and like, this is how I get to the next level by taking, because this is a friendly league. There's too many buddy stuff. The players who used to really go after it are the players who were cutthroat. They did what they had to do and they didn't care about you out there on the court. Outside of the court, we're cool. On the court, we enemies. So listen, if that's how SGA wants to do things, more power to him, man. Yeah, I know. I know, Sherwin. I know. I don't know what that's about, brother. But listen, whatever he needs to help drive himself, it is what it is. And Knicks 100 said, "Why force our way to success? What is the big rush?" Listen. I agree. There's no need. I'm happy with this Knicks team the way it is right now. I'm cool with it. In the off season, though, they're gonna have to take a look at things. Listen, first it starts with the draft, and if in the draft they get somebody who's got some good talent, maybe they don't need to do anything. Maybe they don't need to worry about nothing. And guys, listen, on the good teams, players take steps. You get to the playoffs and guys step up. We don't know. We might get into the playoffs and Quentin Grimes might be unleashed or Emmanuel quickly might become something else. You know, you already know what you're getting from Brunson. You know what you're getting from Randall. And you know what Josh Hart gives you. But one of these young guys could step up and really take it to the next level in the playoffs. And then you start to look at your team like, maybe we don't need a superstar. Maybe we just need another really good player who can complement the rest of the guys. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. Um, let's take a look at the standings real quick. Um, and see what we got going on here. Um, let's share this. Sorry guys, bear with me. I'm just every time this is I just got a new laptop because you guys know if you were watching any of the other recent shows, my keyboard died on the laptop, so had to send it in to get them to fix it. But in the meantime, I needed something to record and do the shows and stuff and other things. Um, so yeah, everything I open up in this laptop is asking me a question. Do you want to allow access for this? Do you want to allow access? I'm like, come on, man. Yes, yes, I do. All right. So let's see. What are we looking at here? Can I blow this up a little bit? All right. Whew, man. Um, and when you look at these standings, bro, like Boston is still doing their thing, which we expected them to. 42 and 17. They're a problem, but and they're one of the teams I think the Knicks have to pay attention to and watch. But the team that scares me the most, because for whatever reason, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that the Knicks are realistically as good as Boston, or that I feel like they would definitely, if they had to play Boston in a 7-game series, they would knock them off. I don't know that I could say that. I do think that this Knick team, if it plays the right basketball that they've shown to play, can make it very interesting against Boston. Because for whatever reason, I think we match up well with them. I don't know why, but I think we do. So that would be interesting. Now, the team underneath, Boston. That team is scary to me. They are right there, right behind Boston, and I kind of feel like Milwaukee's going to pass them. And they've won 12 in a row, and we know they've added more defense. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. You got to watch out for them. They're interesting. And that's the one team that I probably will like the Knicks to avoid. I mean, nothing's set in stone, but that's a tough matchup for the Knicks. Um, then you got Philadelphia, who's 38-19. They've won four in a row prior to the All Star break, and they're a team you always got to worry about as well. However, for the moment, the Knicks seem to play them well. Now, I don't know if that's sustainable, but right now I'm not. They're a better team, but I think the Knicks, if they played well and certain things broke the Knicks' way, I think the Knicks could beat them in a 7-game series. But things have to go right. Like coach has to be on point. The players got to play their roles. RJ would need to be involved and step up. And then the other stuff that we have seen, the Josh Hart, the Julius stuff, the Brunson, that stuff has to continue. But if that did happen, I think the Knicks could beat them because I feel like the Knicks just have better hmm, overall team pieces that could provide the necessary balance to knock them off. Like Philadelphia's got Joel Embiid. We know who he is. James Harden. We know who he was. Don't get it twisted. He ain't the same player, but he can do some really good things out there. But I think the fact that he's not the same James Harden that we saw in Houston could be interesting for them. And that might hold them back a little bit. We'll see. I'm not sure. Tyrese Maxey, very nice. And he every year he just gets better. So in the playoff time, he might take his game to the next level. We don't know. But I think that will be interesting. Uh, the Cleveland Cavaliers is definitely a team that you can't take lightly either. But I think that's probably the best matchup for the Knicks. If the Knicks had to fight off one of these teams in the first round of a playoffs, Cleveland might be the one that you would hope for. I think for a first round, because all these other matchups are pretty tough to deal with in a first. Not that the Cavs are light, but I'm just saying it's a little less. Um, the Brooklyn Nets, another team you got to pay attention to. I mean, listen, say what you will about the fact they don't have Kyrie and KD, but they're 34 and 24, 10 games over 500. They've built themselves a little bit of a cushion to play around with. 22 games left. You know, they're not abysmal. They're not a horrible team. They may not be as good as they once were, but they got some players over there who could pull out some victories. So, got to keep an eye on them. There's no people keep saying that it's like almost an automatic that now that KD and Kyrie aren't there, the Knicks are just going to leapfrog over them. Can't just assume that. Like they're right there with the Knicks, and they got guys who don't have the chemistry, but they also know that they don't have a lot of time left in the season. They may just work together the best they can and surprise some people. You never know. Sometimes those teams play better when they don't have a superstar. Like everybody gets to touch the ball, everybody gets to be a part of what you're doing. Sometimes that you'd be surprised what that can do for a team. And then the Miami Heat. I think that's where I kind of stop. The Miami Heat is probably the next and last team that I think the Knicks should really focus and worry about. Atlanta's a wild card now that they fired Nate McMillan. Maybe that'll energize them. I don't know. We'll see. It's kind of iffy. I'm not really worried about Atlanta, especially the fact that the how the Knicks have played them this year so far. I think we're okay with them. Miami is definitely a team that they gotta watch. Um, Antoine Jenkins says, Shout out to you as always. Honestly, I think we need Jeremy Grant type of player, a wing to give us a good 20, and I think we can win by committee. Yeah, I don't doubt it. I think really this Nick team has not shown yet they can consistently get good production from our big three, if you will, from RJ, Brunson, and Randall. If we could ever get that in any type of consistency, the Nick team is going to be a tough team to beat because we got guys who are playing defense now, and with the addition of Hart, that's more defense that's being played and added to that second unit. I think that would be enough for us to really make some waves for the rest of these 22 games that are left in the season and possibly going into the playoffs. Well, yeah, let's see. Um yeah, I see what you're saying, Ricardo. That's a good point about Jones. They didn't pick up his fifth year option, and yeah, that's a good point. So we'll see. He may want his money, but I think Giants may just allow him to go out there and test the water and see what what he's worth to the rest of the NFL. I know, infamous LeBron. Yeah, LeBron's definitely in SGA's head. Yeah, he's he's on his mind. Callie M said, "How would Mikal Bridges look in New York?" I could answer that. Great. um, you might be right. You might be right, Knicks 100. We might just need to take a chill pill and just let everything play out and see what we got. Parrish Duggar says Brunson moved our timeline up to ready. We got to replace RJ with a dog wing like Kuzma or Jalen Brown with 4 first round picks. Interesting. I mean, really, Jalen Brown is the perfect addition for this Nick team. I think that gives us everything that we have been missing in terms of making us a contender. Does it make us a championship team? Uh don't know. That stuff has to be earned. You got to go out there and do what you got to do to win games and knock these teams off. But it would definitely make us a contender. Uh yeah, I see what you're saying, Ricardo. Yeah, I think we can agree on that. We are missing a strong small forward. That's a 3 and D like a Kyle Kuzma or Miles Bridges type. Yeah, I agree. We definitely are. Infamous New King said McCall and OG are on Leon's radar for that wing spot. Yeah, I know. I'm still on the fence about OG, man. Every time I'm ready to buy in, bro, he gets hurt. I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say. It bothers me. I get worried. I get worried. Shout out to Drip Moore, official barber of Still Nick fans, as well as the Knicks community. Appreciate you. Salute to you, my brother. Always good to see you. Edwin said Knicks will finish in the top six. Book it. I think you're right. I think that's a yeah. I think that's a high possibility. Uh, Anna Grill is in the building. Salute. Hmm, hmm. Well, listen, Kuzma is not that bad defensively. He is a willing defender. We can't shortchange guys who are willing defenders because they can do some stuff uh, for your team. It's the guys who don't play any lick of defense, not a lick of defense. Those are the ones you worry about. Obi Toppin. Sorry. I didn't mean to say it, but you know I was thinking it. And I'm really mad about the fact that I used to keep saying it's Obi season, and Obi hasn't showed any seasons. Nothing. Mrs. Dash maybe because he's soft. Oh, sorry, my fault. I gotta stop. Sorry, Obi. I like you, man. I just want you to play stronger. Um, EM Med is in the building. Was good. Malachi Young is here. Salute. Appreciate you. Thank you for tuning in. That's that. Yes. Unfortunately, but is that a good thing? This is very true. This is a true statement for a lot of guys. They are going to be better when Mitch gets back on the court because what Mitch does on the defensive end is really important. It's going to stabilize that paint area and make it easier for these other guys who have some defensive woes to look a little better. Also, Mitch's ability to offensive rebound and get second chance opportunities for these guys is going to help them as well. So yeah, I agree with you, Malachi. Mm. Anna Grill, what's good? Salute. Good to see you. Let me see. Yeah, Nate McMillan caught the boot, man. D Coolis is in the building. What's going on? Appreciate you, D Coolis. Yeah. See, Parrish, this is what I worry about, bro. I ain't gonna lie to you, man. I'm worried about his health. And this is another thing that bothers me with OG. OG can give you some offense, but he's very inconsistent too. And I said it before, the only time I see OG step up is when other guys aren't there. That's when I see OG do his thing on offense. But when these other guys are there, he's quiet and he's like a not a non-factor, but he's very limited in what he can bring to the offense. But like um if Van Vliet is out, if Barnes is out, or if Siakam is out, OG steps up and you get to see more of him. But the issue here is it's one thing if OG was coming to the Knicks and we didn't have Julius or we didn't have RJ. You know what I mean? Like both of them, I mean. But when guys are gonna be here, OG's gonna be he's not gonna be the primary scorer anyway. He's gonna be the three, maybe the four. And I don't know if he's the right fit when it comes to that part of it. Defensively, he's definitely a good defender. That's without question. Glenn Costin is in the building. Salute. What's good? Appreciate you. Brooklyn Butch. Salute, man. What's going on? How you doing? Um, Caldwell Pope. Yeah, Caldwell Pope is a very good role player, a good complementary piece to any NBA team. The guy has sneaky athleticism. He can shoot the three at a very high clip. He's one of the best shooters in the league from three, and he's a very good defender. Yeah, Caldwell Pope is the guy. Like I wouldn't be mad at him at all. Like he's a nice piece and someone you can get that's more affordable. But the problem is like, how do you get him? The team he's on right now, they don't want to give him up. He helps that team. Yeah. So I don't know, man. Uh that's a tough one. Smash that like button, guys. Show your love for still Nick fans, but most importantly, show your love for nothing but Knicks. My guy Simeon Russell and his platform, man. Thank you guys for being here and showing love for the show. Appreciate all of y'all. Arthur Newell is in the building. Hmm. What's going on? Appreciate you. Thank you for tuning in. Um, so here's the thing, guys. Oh, and anybody out there, please like, comment, subscribe if you haven't already done so. We appreciate you. Um, can the New York Knicks win 50 games? Um, we've seen how they've played up until the All-Star break. It's a small sample size. It's like 3 games with, 3-game win streak. They played really good. They were very dominant versus Atlanta. Josh Hart has looked like a very good pickup for this New York Knicks team. Can they win 50 games? Hmm. I mean, it. I don't want to say it's realistic, but it's possible. but the Knicks would have to go 17-5 over the last 22 games, guys. Yeah, I mean, that's not easy. Um, and the Knicks are the one thing that I feel like is in the Knicks corner is they're streaky. They could be streaky in a bad way or they could be streaky in a good way, but they're streaky. So they could run off games. They've shown that they can give you win streaks. Even when they were struggling, they were streaky. And then when they started playing well, still streaky. So you know, it could happen. At least they could make it interesting. I just think 17-5 might be a little tough. I could definitely see them doing something around 15-7 maybe. Um yeah, I could see that. But like I said, who knows? This Nick team could surprise us. And like I said, if they get anything from RJ, like and his confidence starts to come back, watch out. Paris Stugger says 14-8. Yeah, I think that's realistic too. Like as I said before, when we started the season, I thought the Knicks could win 45 games. Was I jumping out the window at that point? Maybe a little bit, but I went from 45 to 43. And now that the season has played out, I've seen the move they've made. I've seen how they're playing. I've seen the emphasis on defense and the confidence level has, risen. I think they could win 45 games. And I think that's easy. Not easy, but I think comfortably they could win 45 games. It's whatever anything past that, we'll have to see. But I think the Knicks are going to try because I think they know that moving up would be very beneficial for them and help their playoff odds to get a favorable matchup. Because where they're at right now is not the most favorable matchup. So, it makes sense to try to go all out and finish strong. 24/7 is in the building. Appreciate you. He said, New York is streaky because of Tibbs. Yeah, I don't doubt it. I don't doubt it. Ricardo says, tell me what you think of this list. Miles Bridges from Charlotte, Jermaine Grant, Cam Johnson, Jay Crowder, Kuzma, Howard from Charlotte moves for the summer. Um, hmm, I'm not mad at any of these names. Crowder might be a little funky because I don't know the deal with his money. I think he's getting paid a good amount of money, and I don't know if his production is at that value. I guess we'll see how he plays defense these last 22 games. But we'll see. Kuzma, the price tag might be too high. And I don't know if Washington wants him to go anywhere anyway. Mm. Cam Johnson, I gotta look at Cam Johnson because I don't know how his defense is. I mean, Phoenix had a really good team defense, but I don't know about Cam Johnson's individual defense or his team defense personally. He can shoot. Um, I feel like he showed me something before where he could do a couple different things on the court, but I almost feel like he's turning into one dimensional. Like now he's just a 3-point shooter. We'll see. We'll see. I got to look a little deeper into the Cam Johnson thing. Miles Bridges, as long as that situation with the domestic thing is not, there's no life to that. If he's good on that, then hey, all right. I do question his choices though. He was doing some funky stuff during that time before he even got into that incident. So, and then the people he associates with, how he just chills and lives his life, he may need to change his circle or do some different things, man, because now it's affecting your livelihood. And your circle gets a lot smaller when you ain't got the bread around. So, something to think about. Um, uh, Let's see. Hmm. Snipe said I'd trade RJ for Bridges straight up. Hmm. I think the Knicks need to have a certain target, right? Those target players would be on your list of guys that you can really look at. Like trade a third from the Pelicans. He would be on my short list. Jalen Brown would be number one, right? Mikal Bridges would be number two. Then Trey the third, maybe number four or three. I don't know, maybe three. I'm not sure. But like set your goal. Like I want this type of player for my team, but I'm going to start with the best. If you can't get the best, then you start to trickle down. But you got to push for the best first and go down from there. And then like a Caldwell Pope, he would be on that list too. I'd add him. The only thing about Caldwell Pope, I don't know what's his height. He might be a little smaller. Pavius. He is. Oh, seriously? I could just see it straight away. He is 6'5". Hmm. Yeah, that's the only thing about him. He's not a bad height. He's just not the ideal height we want for that wing player. Another 2 inches would be great. 3 inches would be phenomenal. But yeah, but like I said, he's one of those that you deal with it because he's a really good defender, sneaky athleticism, really good shooter from three. He's shooting 47% from the field, and what's his 3-point shooting right now? 45%. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Something to think about. Um, I agree. I don't think the Nets are going to trade Mikal Bridges either, Ricardo. I think they've kind of hitched their wagon to him. He's going to be part of their young core going forward. Manny's in the building. Salute to you, Manny. He says, I think RJ Barrett has been pressing a bit too much this season. Hopefully, the time off can allow him to rest himself and change his approach. Agreed. I think he needs to get a different approach this off season. I think he's already worked on certain things for the first 3 years. And I think he needs to start focusing on his defense, his footwork, losing some weight, and getting in better physical shape to help with his speed, quickness, and agility. And also work on that mid range game and get yourself some low post moves, whatever it is. So when you get down in the block and guys are all around you, you can start like RJ should be big enough and should have a good enough touch to be a post player. Like he should be able to post his guy down, back him down. We've seen smaller point guards back guys down. Mark Jackson was known for it. Guys like that. RJ should be able to back his guy down and do something in the lane or turn around, jumper or something. His focus needs to change up a little bit, I think. He needs to kind of move away from shooting so many 3-point shots and get into the two game. Get his two game popping. Um, and then I think that'll help his game out a lot. Yeah. So I guess my last question for you guys is out of all of the moves that have been made at this trade deadline, what do you feel is the most will be the most impactful move? Um, in the NBA. I think there's, probably an easy choice. But you never know. You never know. Still, things have to be worked out. Still has to be a good fit. Um, so I'm wondering what you guys think about what's the most impactful move in these next 22 games, the second half of this season. Now that we're past this trade deadline, um, I think I have my pick. Who are you guys thinking? Um, let's see. Let me help some guys out there who may not remember some of the moves that were made. Uh, let's think of notable moves. Kevin Durant went to the Suns, as well as T.J. Warren. Mikal Bridges went to the Nets. Blah blah blah. Uh, hmm. Jalen McDaniels went to the 76ers. Cam Reddish went to the Portland Trailblazers. Eric Gordon went to the Clippers. Josh Richardson went to the Pelicans. Sadiq Bey went to the Hawks. Hmm. uh, Bones Highland went to the Clippers. Ah, D'Angelo Russell, Malik Beasley, and Jared Vanderbilt went to the Lakers. So I would say, I mean, probably D'Angelo Russell's going to have a little bit more impact than the other two. So you could put D'Angelo Russell's name in the mix. Jacob Portal, I wouldn't even think to mention him, but I know in one of those Raptors games before the break, he put up 30 points. So, you know what I mean? Um, hmm. Oh, Kyrie Irving went to Dallas. Spencer Dinwiddie went back to the Nets. Rui Hachimura went to the Lakers. Um, the Knicks got Josh Hart. So out of all those moves, Mo Bamba went to the Lakers. Out of all those moves, what do you think is going to be the most impactful move down the stretch? Hmm. Oh, one more. If I didn't mention it already, Jay Crowder. Jay Crowder went to the Milwaukee Bucks. So there you have it. Let's see what the chat says. Ian Med says KD to the Suns, Josh Hart to the Knicks. Snipe says KD going to Phoenix. hmm hmm Kenny Payne said KD shook the league. I don't even think I mentioned Russell Westbrook, but whatever. Russell Westbrook, Dirty Dancer says, and shout out to you, Dirty Dancer. He said Russell Westbrook is the biggest move ruining the Clips' chances. um, but Dirty Dancer says obviously Durant. Okay. Salute D Raz. What's good? Appreciate you. Kyrie was the domino, said Kenny Payne. Noah Mejia is in the building. Or Mejia. Come on, Ron. I got to get that right. Noah Mejia is in the building. I don't know why I read that three different ways. Um, or pronounced it three different ways. Kenny Payne, Podal will hurt you. Yeah. Mm. Podal. Mm. Um, hmm. Okay. Noah looks like he's a bot of some sort. All right, sorry, guy. Don't know what you are. Got to get you up out of here. Um, uh, KD says Anna Grill. Yeah, I got him out of here 24/7. Appreciate you. Sherwin said, "My grandfather told me to never ask a question that you know the answer to." Well, honestly, I think it comes down to 3 players, guys, and you might be surprised. One is obvious, okay? It's KD, without question. KD's impact may be huge. Um, but if somehow they make it work, Kyrie's impact on the Dallas Mavericks might be huge too. I don't see it personally, but that doesn't mean it couldn't happen. Um, and honorable mention, but slowly becoming an interesting piece is the Josh Hart move because Josh Hart might solidify that Knicks bench and give the Knicks what they have sorely missed, true dog. They haven't had that. And for a team that's been winning or finding ways to win games without, that getting that little bit of juice from a player and that attitude can really help and turn around a team. We'll see. But I do think probably KD, but I don't know, man. Like I said, Josh Hart and Kyrie may really help out their teams respectively. So we'll see. Musa Azakar is in the building. Shout out to Musa. What's going on? Ian Med said Josh Hart is making other players much better. He inspires and motivates his teammates. I agree. And yeah, 24/7 says Suns bench is a little sus. It definitely is, especially now that they made that move. Um, but they're going for it. You know what I mean? They are definitely going for it. Knicks 100 agrees. Hart fits well, though, no doubt. I know, like I said, KD is like what most people would say is the obvious pick, but we'll see. We'll see how it all shakes out. Man, it's 22 games. And the other thing is, not only is it about the impact you can provide, but it's the chemistry. And Josh Hart came into the Knicks already having somewhat of a good chemistry, knowing that he played with Brunson before. And in this Knick team, like you can come in and fit pretty good with them, depending on what your game is. I think his game fits perfectly for them. So with KD is the man. So now he's going to Phoenix, where Booker was the man, and then you got a former man in Chris Paul. We got to see how that all plays out. You know what I mean? And it's not like Chris Paul and KD have the same type of relationship, buddy buddy thing that Chris Paul has with like Carmelo Anthony and Dwayne Wade and LeBron. They're cool, but it's a different dynamic. So we'll see how it plays out. Yes, and he played with Randall on the Lakers for a bit, for that 1 year at least. Good point. Hart, that is. Oh, Musa, you missed it, man. We talked about this earlier. Yeah, we said this could be a possibility because Brandon Ingram just he gets hurt a lot, and New Orleans may be willing to part with him to get some more stability with their team. It's one thing to have Brandon Ingram who gets hurt a lot and is one of your star players. Then you draft a guy in Zion Williamson who also gets hurt a lot. They need some health over there. Uh, straight up. I don't know. I don't know. Shout out to Paris Duggar. Thank you for the generous super chat, Paris. Appreciate you as always. He said, "Salute Ron and the Knicks family." Thank you, brother. I appreciate you. Yeah, guys. Well, I don't want to take up too much time. I just wanted to give you guys a little bit of love and talk a little bit about what's going on. Um, this second half of the season should be very interesting. We're going to talk more about things as they happen. I'm interested to see how the race for positioning gets going in the next week or so. It should be pretty fun. Should be pretty fun, and hopefully these Knicks continue to play at a high level and continue to feed off of Josh Hart's energy. That would be a great look, and we get Mitch back. I mean, that would be fantastic. Um, Agreed, Anagro. If CP3 stays available, and they are a serious problem. Problem is CP3 going to stay CP3? Because CP3 in the playoffs last year, I don't know who that guy was. He had a birthday, and as soon as the birthday hit, I swear to you, you guys remember, if you look back at the playoffs, look at what he did, right? And how his games were. He was playing good. Then he had a birthday. After the birthday, everything went downhill. It's nuts. Brooklyn Butch says the GM from Toronto overplayed his hand when it comes to trading Anobi. Yeah, yeah. His asking price was a little too high, a little crazy. Jerry Fitz says, and salute to you, Jerry Fitz. Appreciate you. He said, going forward, closing out games will be interesting. Brunson, Randall, and the center will all close. 2 out of 4. RJ, IQ, J Hart, Grimes will round out the other 2 spots with J Hart with a leg up. We'll see. That sounds about right. That makes sense. Knicks 100 said maybe he wanted to light fire under OG like the Knicks did with Quickly when they said he was up for trade. Interesting. Good. That's it. And interesting that you put it that way, Knicks 100, because that did make Quickly play better basketball. I don't know if that was their intent, but that's what came out of it. He's been really good. And defensively, he's been fantastic. And the combo of Quickly and Grimes has been one of the best defensive combos in the whole NBA. I saw that. It was a stat I saw the other day. So, yeah. All right, guys. Well, you guys enjoy the rest of your evening. Make sure you check out, if you still want to listen to some Nick content, go check out I think the Queen might be on, if I'm not mistaken. Yep, Dope Soul Sports. Go check her show out. She's on. And show your love for Steph. NBA basketball is back, guys. Let's see. Let's hopefully these next 22 games is going to be exciting, and then we'll get our playoff run, sooner than later, man. Time flies. You guys enjoy yourselves. Have a great rest of the evening. I'll catch you on the next one. You know how it is. And most likely the next time you see it, we'll be full strength again, Take it easy. Run that